Welcome back to Forza Naples. My name's Ian, joined with my co-host, as always, Paul. Paul, a first off weekend of the season. You guys have any fun plans going on?
Yeah, did the San Francisco Giants game on Sunday. So kept it uh kept it sports related with no Naples, no Forest. It was pretty much a soccer free weekend out here in the Bay. Um but looking forward to Prinx Tire. Maybe we'll see. Might go check out the San Jose Earthquakes in the U.S. Open Cup tomorrow night.
Ooh.
So we'll see if the schedule allows for me to get down to San Jose to see how they're playing Minnesota. So see if the Open Cup has the same joy with no USL teams in it. But yeah, good weekend off. I'm sure you and your family had a relaxing weekend as we come up to a busy week.
Yeah, nice and relaxing. Not doing a whole lot. But definitely missed going out to Paradise Coast Sports Complex for the game. Looking forward to next weekend and having them be back home. Didn't know what to do really with my Saturday night. It was strange.
Yeah, it's strange having no like Forest playing on Friday, no Naples game on the weekend. So neither of our teams playing this weekend. Made
Mm-mm.
for a just a bizarre wrinkle in the schedule.
Too quiet. But excited for the Prinx Tires Cup. Last year we took our bottles of Jägermeister out of the freezer to get them ready for the Jägermeister Cup. Are you going to do the same with your bottle of Prinx tires for this tournament?
Might have to get the tires rotated and get some new tires on the vehicle. Doesn't have the same name appeal, but I think we'll have just as much fun this year. The cup itself is awesome. So the name, I'm sure Prinks will be here this year. Who knows who it'll be next year?
Yeah, you can put any name on it. We'll still have fun with it. The Prinx Tires Cup, for those that don't know, is all of the USL professional teams. So from both divisions, the Championship and USL League One, separated into geographic groups. So there's quite a few groups. There's actually 7 of them. We are in Group 7, which is all the Florida teams. So it's the Tampa Bay Rowdies, Miami FC, FC Naples, Sporting Jacks, and Sarasota Paradise. That's who makes up our group. The winners of the group advance, and then the best second place team will also advance. So the top 8 teams advance into the Elite 8, if you will, and then it's a straight knockout tournament from there. So FC Naples will kick off their Prinx Tires Cup campaign on Wednesday night in Miami at the Pitbull Stadium, which if you haven't been, you've got to check out. Although Pitbull, I think, has come under fire because he's not fulfilled any of his contract obligations since the naming of the stadium. So a bit unfortunate there. I don't think there's going to be a Pitbull concert, but might be worth the trip across Alligator Alley to see this one.
Yeah, tough a Wednesday night. Tough to go to work and get over. That stadium's not that close, so it's a full probably 2 hours from Naples. It's not one of those you could go to work for your full day and get out 5:30 and make it. Um, but there's other alternatives. I believe the game's on Paramount Plus, if
I
I'm
think it's
correct on
ESPN
this
Plus.
one.
ESPN
It
Plus
is
this week.
ESPN Plus. So there's still ways to support the boys from your couch, like I have done all season long.
Yes, yes. So this tournament did kick off this past Saturday, actually, with teams in action. So looking across our group, we did see the Tampa Bay Rowdies beat Sarasota Paradise 2-0, and Miami FC went to Sporting Jacks and won 1-0 up there on a championship versus championship match. Then they have to turn around and play us on the Wednesday night on short rest. Do you think that could cause any delays with Miami FC? They have so far played 7 games this season in league play. They've won 2, drawn 3, and lost 2. They have a -3 goal differential for those wondering.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting game Wednesday night because we have a massive fixture Saturday. One of the biggest games we'll play all season uh, with uh, One Knox kind of on the heels. I think those are 2 teams that you can anticipate being atop the leaderboard. We are 1 and 2. with the game in hand over Spokane and Union. But those were, we're tied up top with 14 points, separated on goal differential, with Naples still top of the table. Uh, so it is going to be really interesting to see what type of lineup comes out Wednesday night, knowing that we have this big game on Saturday. Luckily, it's not too much travel. So hoping to see our full squad out there. And I think this is a game we could get.
Yeah, coming off of the short rest for them, I think is going to be more challenging. I can see both of these teams kind of having somewhat rotated squads, but for us mainly, we're coming off a week and a half almost of what rest, having not played since last Sunday at Portland. Given it was a lot of games there, and the heartbreaking game against Orlando City that we've talked about. I think you could see on Sunday those guys were kind of tired, but hopefully they've had a chance to rest. Maybe a semi-rotated squad. Maybe you take out some of the midfielders for Naples. But Miami was playing at Jacksonville on Saturday. They play us Wednesday. Then they've got to turn around and go play Brooklyn again at home this Saturday as well. Brooklyn kind of close to them, mid-table in the Eastern Conference of the Championship. So I think you're right, though. I think this is a game that's kind of there for the taking. For those that weren't following last year in the Jägermeister Cup, Naples, same exact fixture in Miami. We fell 3-2 to them. A game that was pretty back and forth, and we were in it for just about all of it. It was a late, I think, late on, Miami scored to go ahead. We had the Kevin O'Connor worldies directly from a corner, if my memory is not mistaken me, in this one. But a game that we see Miami kind of a mid-table championship side. I think those are the sides that we could stack up well against, and I'd put us up against any day of the week. So especially if we do play our full squad, I think this game might be there for the taking.
Yeah, we went up and beat the Battery last year, so we did win against a championship side last year. That Miami game should have been a draw. I think they scored late, but it was back and forth. It looked like we had a couple questions late that they were able to answer. It really did feel like a game we could have walked away with some points. And unfortunate to say, but this really will dictate, I think, how we go forth the rest of the tournament. So not to put a lot of pressure on this one game, but if we lose to Miami, it is a tall task to get out of the group the rest of the way. And with only one wild card spot available, I think that if we don't walk away with a point, I think it's going to be a tall task to get out. So, but again, it's the team struggling, and it you should see kind of like a heavyweight title fight, because Miami needs to win this game, and then they're in the pole position to win the whole group. So they'll play the Rowdies towards the end, and they win that. That's 9 points. They're through. Nobody would be able to beat them with Paradise already losing. Paradise won't beat us. Yeah, it should be a great game.
Yeah, you look at Miami's fixtures too. They're kind of run of form. They've drawn before the Prinx Tires Cup at the weekend. They had drawn 2 in a row, 0-0, and then lost to Phoenix Rising 3-0. So that goal was kind of their first goal since the month of March. Given in March, they were pretty good. They had lost 1, drawn 1, and won 2, beating Jacksonville again. But yeah, you're right. Looking at the group, it's going to be tough, especially knowing if we can win all the games, that would be huge. But that Rowdies team looks really good. I watched a bit of them against Sarasota at the weekend. They look like they're the real deal, especially in USL, in the USL Championship right now. Jacksonville, I think, is easily gettable for us, and they're coming to us. They have not really looked good at all season. And then Sarasota Paradise, we've already played them once. We play them again. That's another one that's at home. I think that's another one that we should be getting 3 points from. So it's really going to come down to, I think the other 2 games are definitely winnable. The games are going to come down to, can we win at Miami and can we win at Tampa Bay? Because those are going to be the 2 tougher championship opponents that we've got in our group. I think Miami is doable, and I think Tampa Bay is going to be the real test. Also, have to mention Carson Henderlong getting his first 2 goals in the green shirts for the Rowdies at the weekend against Sarasota.
Yeah, it'll be fun to face him again. And what's really fun about this tournament, and I know that you are totally against this, I would not, I think Americans would eat this up about soccer. The fun part about this tournament is there's no extra time. It goes right to PKs if there's a draw. And then whoever wins the penalty shootout gets a second point. So there are 3 points up for grabs in every match, with 2 points going to the winner of PKs and one going to the loser. So, I mean, a team like Tampa Bay, a team like Miami, all you gotta do is if we can get to the that draw mark, anything can happen in penalties. We could walk away from Miami with 2 points, and we're still in the driver's seat to win this division. We did the same with Tampa and take care of business against Sarasota, squeak out 3 points against Jacksonville, and just like that, Naples comes out of Group Seven and gets to play more knockout stage games.
Yeah, that would be awesome if it is a fun watch in a tournament like this. I am not in favor of having a penalty shootout to decide the winner of a regular season game in your league play. Just split the points. Each team goes home with a point. You're done. We don't need the penalties and the dramatics, because I still think penalty shootouts are really just you might as well flip a coin half the time. Yes, there's skill, but there's so much luck involved in that too.
Yeah, and it would draw away from the beauty of penalties in big tournaments when they do get there. But I think Americans would embrace it. I think you would turn away some of the football traditionalists. So you're kind of in a catch-22 there as a league. But I think for the tournament, it does make it a lot of fun. And when there's going to be a lot of draws, you do need a way to separate teams, create more points to differentiate. Otherwise, you'd probably end up with a bunch of teams with 7 or 8 points, and then a plethora of tiebreakers. Because I do like this better than going down a list of tiebreakers uh, for deciding who advances.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Do you have any players to kind of watch in this one, or anyone you're looking forward to having a big game? Because I know for me, it's got to be Chris Garcia again. We
Chris
missed him
Gar-
at Portland. I think he's kind of poised to take that again, a huge step up, and against this championship caliber side, really prove what level of player he is. Did I steal
yeah,
yours?
you absolutely did steal mine. I think when you're looking at this tournament, what is really cool is it gives these guys an opportunity to showcase their ability against higher level competition. And ultimately, all these guys want to play at the highest level. And until there's promotion relegation, unfortunately for Naples, it's just not, you know, we're not at the highest level of the USL. So it's an opportunity for these guys to go out, put some good tape out there, and compete. I'm sure there's a little bit of I could be on that team. I think I'm better than you, and I'm here to prove it. So I think Chris Garcia right now seems like the player most poised to move on to a bigger league next year. So I anticipate him having a great game if he is fully fit and ready to go. As important as I think this tournament is, it's not worth risking any long term damage to any of our guys. And I think that'll be a common theme as these games continue is if you're going to give guys a rest, I do want it to be in this tournament while still trying to advance.
Yeah, I think it's important to take this tournament seriously, especially while we're sitting on 0 points, haven't played a game yet. Let's go out there, try and win and advance, because that would be huge again for the club in the second year to make a quarterfinal of this league cup, if you will, would be massive for the team. But yeah, you also don't want to lose sight of what's important. That's continuing to pick up points in the actual league, helping bolster that playoff spot, and hopefully hosting a home playoff game again. The other player or the other two guys I'm kind of looking at are, across the midfield in general. I think Torres, O'Connor are both going to be big to step up, especially with this busy week ahead for us with Miami on Wednesday. And then, like you said, huge game on Saturday. Can't lose sight of that. Knoxville coming to town, number 2 in the league. The team that knocked us out of the playoffs last year, too. We've got to be up for that one and ready to hopefully take 3 points. Still, another team that we haven't beat yet in franchise history, because we lost at home to them, drew them on the road, and then lost in the playoffs. So a team we're going to be hungry to beat. So it's really tough to have this midweek game now. But like you said, and we kind of have talked about, I think it's winnable even if we do slightly rotate, and we're kind of expecting Miami to do the same. It's so tough with all these league fixtures and cup fixtures all coming at us at once.
Yeah, it's tough because the Saturday game is so crucial. I think if we had a lesser opponent, and not that we want to underestimate anybody, or a little more time, looking at the rest of our games, there shouldn't be too much overlap um, between league and cup. The next cup match is a Sunday following a Wednesday game in Boise. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what that depending, it really depends on the result of today, what that lineup against Boise will look like, followed by the Sporting Jacks game, and then Sarasota Paradise comes to Naples after a Wednesday fixture, but then we have a week off after. So it does kind of play into the manager, prioritizing rest and recovery while also trying to win these games because they do matter. I don't want to talk about, don't want to undersell at this point in the tournament. These games do matter depending on the result. Wednesday could be could have a different tone next Prinx tire game, but for this one, you want to walk away with 2 points or three.
Yeah, for sure. It is interesting too to look at Miami FC's roster because they do have a player that's probably going to be at the World Cup this summer, and Jurgen Locadia. I hope I'm saying that right. He plays for Carousel, who could forget qualified for the World Cup through CONCACAF. So he is their main striker. He also scored at the weekend against Jacksonville. So, oh, sorry, he did not. I take that back. He did not score. He had the assist on the goal. But it's kind of cool to see us playing a player that will be at the World Cup this summer, given it's for Carousel. But I'm ready to cheer on
Still
Carousel.
cool. Yeah, still cool. I think there were 17 USL players that were representing national teams last international break. So it is kind of cool. This guy will be playing against the best of the best this summer, and he's got to get past FC Naples.
Yeah, tough ask for sure. Um, do you have a scoreline prediction heading into this one?
Yeah, I think we're talking. This is really interesting because Naples has had such a long layoff, and with us not knowing what lineup they're going to put out there, part of me thinks we go out there full force. This could be a 2-0 game. Um, so that's going to be my score line. I'm going to hope for the best that we are going to put our top line out there and go for broke. Hopefully to get an early goal and then pick one up early in the second half and be able to rotate kind of that 70th minute on. I think we could hold the 2-goal lead with a rotated squad late. So that's kind of my thought going into this one.
Yeah, I like that. I think I'm gonna go 2-1. Um, very similar where we have not given up a lot of goals this year, but given the layoff and given that Miami's pretty good up top, with kind of that front three, I think they'll get a goal. But I think we'll be able to get, and I go with 2-1 every week, it seems, but I think we'll be able to score on them as well. Looking at them and kind of their form, they have defended pretty well, but we saw just Phoenix really get to them. So I think Coach Poland's going to have them looking at the film, looking at how Phoenix was able to break them down, especially at their place, and seeing what it takes. And I think we can get two past them. Maybe we'll get a O'Connor goal. I'm going to go Kevin O'Connor for goal scorer, and I think Backstein's going to come off the bench, and he's going to get one late on to win it for us.
Yeah, and it goes back to kind of what we've talked about. If Bachstein comes off the bench, I mean, that's a weapon. If it's a 1-1 game in that 75th minute and here comes Bachstein ready to find us a winner, um, some strategy goes into kind of 85th plus with looking at getting your penalty takers out there. If that becomes a thing, and like we talked about with Delgado, he'll hopefully be able to come up with a couple key saves and help us move on with at least 2 points. I think if we walk out of there with 2 points, I think that's a win in our book.
Yeah, absolutely. I did see on FotMob the referee assigned to this game was the same referee for the Orlando City game. So that one kind of made me chuckle when I saw that. So maybe we're due a questionable ball off the bar comes down and it's given us a goal this time. And maybe
I,
it's not all the way across the line, but I don't think that's how it works, sadly.
I think it might be worth Taylor Gray or Farine going down on a couple light touches early in that game to see if we'll get the one that goal he owes us from Orlando. It wouldn't solve what he did, what they missed, but it would help remedy the situation for sure. If we could pick up a soft penalty call. Not that we want to be that team that dived in the box, because I actually hate that, but just maybe give it a try once or twice in this one with the referee that owes us a call.
To his defense too, it was not his call on the line. I know we're still talking about it 2 weeks later. We're still upset. But yeah, not his call on the line. But that's neither here nor there. Maybe we'll get something. Maybe we won't. Who knows? It's all to play for in Pitbull Stadium.
Yeah, and before we head off, are we gonna see what we're gonna do here for our group winners?
Yes. Are you ready to predict your Prinx Tires groups?
I am ready.
All right, so we have group. Most of the groups have 6 teams. Our one group has 7 teams. That's Group 4, and Group 7 has 5 teams. South Georgia Tormento is supposed to be in the group. They unfortunately are no longer in the group. So Group 1, that's your. We'll call it the Paul group because it's all the West Coast teams. Who do you like out of that one?
Yeah, I'm going with the Oakland Roots. Just want to see them play some more games at convenient times so I can actually make it to a game because so far their games have not been convenient to my personal schedule. So I'm going to take the Oakland Roots as bad as they've been. But a smarter man would probably take the Sacramento Republic. But give me the Roots out of Group 1.
You
And
know,
and before
mhm.
we go into group winners, do you think I think our predictions are one thing, but how many League One teams do you think can make it out of this group stage? What's going to be your prediction?
I think if we get one, just because the numbers are against us too,
Yeah,
um, I think that would be huge given that there's so many more championship teams in this tournament than League One tournaments. Last year we saw Greenville made it out of the group as a wild card, I believe. They were in our group last year. We lost to them on the road in this tournament. But I think if the USL League One could get one team out of the group, that would be massive. So
I'm going
you're
to go with two teams. I'm going to go with two teams getting out of the two USL ones getting through. Just because 3, 4, and 6 all have three, it's 3-3 or 3-4, and we already saw a cup set in Group 4. So yeah, I'm going to go with two teams from the USL get out of group play.
okay. So Group One, you're sticking with your Oakland roots.
I'm going
I'm
to
gonna
stick
go.
with the Roots.
I'm gonna go cup set here. I'm gonna go AC Boise. They knocked off Las Vegas at the weekend in a shootout. So I'm gonna go Boise coming out of that group. Boise looks really good this season. A little nervous to travel there, and like you said, in 2 weeks. But yeah, I'm gonna go Boise. Group 2, we'll call it kind of the Southern California, Southwest into Colorado group. Who do you like in this one?
I would go with New Mexico United, but they really hurt me in the U.S. Open Cup when I picked them to win, and they lost, I think, 4-0. That was a tough one. Um, Give me the El Paso Locomotive to get out of this group.
Yeah, El Paso currently sitting top of the table. I'm gonna go Colorado Springs Switchbacks. They won the USL a couple years ago at I remember watching it. It was like 10 a.m. local time because it was on CBS. I'm gonna go Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Plus, that's just a cool name, Colorado Springs Switchbacks.
Those are two really cool. That's got three really cool: Phoenix Rising, El Paso Locomotive, and the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. I think that's the league, the group that wins best name.
For sure. And some cool badges in there too, like the El Paso Locomotive badge is awesome.
Awesome.
Group 3, who do you like in this one?
Yeah, this is our Texas and Tennessee division with Knoxville, Chattanooga, and 4 Texas team. And I guess Birmingham's probably Alabama. I'm gonna go with Knoxville to get out of this one. I like the odds. They're a solid team. That's where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with them to get out of the group.
Yeah, Corpus Christi at the weekend pulled off the upset. Well, I guess it's not really an upset, but they've been bottom of the table this year in League One. They beat Chattanooga at Chattanooga 1-0. Chattanooga kind of struggling as of late. They currently sit top of this table. I think I like San Antonio FC. Again, just a cool badge. That's solely what I'm basing this off of. So San Antonio FC, I kind of like them to get out of the group, mainly because I've already picked my League One team, but I think Knoxville's a great shout in that group. We should also mention Knoxville. I know we're going to do a preview pod later this week, along with a recap of the Miami game. Knoxville's next game, they're playing this Wednesday as well in Columbus in the next round of the Open Cup. So they will also be playing on Wednesday. So that could affect, squad rotation for them come Saturday when they come to our place. But we will kind of break down that game as well when we go to preview the weekend. Group 4, who do you like in this one?
This is a tough group. This is kind of your Midwest region. Some really struggling sides in the championship, but not the best selection of USL League One teams, which means I'm gonna have to go with Detroit City FC. They're second, I think, or third in the championship table in the East. So they seem like they're the best team. Indy 11 already lost, so give me Detroit City.
Another good pick. I'm gonna go Louisville City, just in honor of Kentucky Derby coming up. I know Lexington, I think they claim it more so, but Louisville City, I think they seem really good this season. So give me the purple team to advance. Group 5, kind of our Northeast group. Who do you like in this one?
Yeah, it's another one where the USL League One side is just so weak, making it tough. I would have picked Portland if we did this before, but they lost to Westchester on penalties, so they're kind of behind the eight ball. Um, I am cheating because I am looking at the score. Um, I lost the bracket. Hartford Athletic. Hartford Athletic. That's where I'm gonna go.
All right. I think I'm gonna go Brooklyn. They cheated and jumped straight into the championship, although they were supposed to join USL League One. They play on Coney Island, I think, which it's a baseball field. It's like the most obstructed looking view from the camera, but it's a sick backdrop because you've got the roller coasters and they should name the field after Joey Chestnut, I think, in honor of him, because that's all I think of when I think of Coney Island. But I'm going to go Brooklyn to come out of that group. They currently sit top on 3 points.
I'm also behind the eight ball because Hartford did lose to Rhode Island on penalties, so I don't think Hartford's going to get out. But I'm going to stick with the pick anyway. They're going to storm back.
Yeah, who doesn't love a comeback story? Group 6, we've got kind of this is the Eastern Seaboard, I guess you could call it, kind of the Atlantic Division, and then Pittsburgh in there as well. I can go first this time, give you a break. I'm going to go Charleston Battery. They have looked really good this season. They've looked really good in the championship. I think they won their Open Cup match, I want to say. No, they lost to Charlotte in the Open Cup, and then lost on PKs in the USL Open or the USL playoffs. I'm going to go Charleston.
Yeah, give me my family's hometown city of Pittsburgh. I'll take Pittsburgh Riverhounds, the best name in this division, to advance after stomping all over Greenville 3-0 on the weekend.
Love it. And that is your defending USL championship champions, Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
I think if I remember correctly, I don't know if they scored a single goal in that playoff run. I could be wrong on that, but I think I saw a video where they didn't actually score a goal the
They
entire
they
playoffs.
did. They scored one against Rhode Island. I have it up now.
Okay.
I
Okay.
love Wikipedia. As you can tell, we do a lot of research before we come into these.
And can we make an agreement that we're not going to pick Naples to advance and just assume that that's who our pick is and say who's going to come in second behind Naples?
Yes, who's gonna get the wild card in the group? I think this one for me is easy. It's got to be Tampa Bay. They've looked really good all season. I think Carson Henderlong and his new team will advance there. I don't think
Yeah,
they've lost yet this season, but I'm gonna go
they have
Rowdies.
not. They're 4-2. Yeah, I'm gonna join you with the Rowdies. I think that they're the team to beat in this division. And if Naples can't win this group, it would be nice to see Carson Henderlong move on. Um, so I'm gonna join you with the Rowdies.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay game too is gonna be our last game of this tournament too, of the group stage on July 11th. So, and that one's away at Tampa. I know we've already booked our hotel for St. Pete. Gonna go up there for the weekend, see the game on Saturday, and then maybe catch a Rays game on Sunday. But yeah, that one is the last game. So who knows? Maybe if we both win out, that one could be for the group.
Could be for the group. Could be for the group.
Paul, anything else you want to add before we wrap up here?
No, I hope everybody was able to get some rest this weekend. It's a 2-match week. We got the midweek fixture Wednesday. Looking forward to that, and then massive game on Saturday. So this is a really big week for the club and two really big games. So looking forward to being on my couch at 4 o'clock Pacific on Wednesday afternoon.
Yes, looking forward to the weekend. Like you said, huge game Wednesday to kick off the Prinx Tires Cup, and then an even bigger game on Saturday. I did see the club put out. It's going to be a Cinco de Mayo fiesta theme, so maybe a few margaritas on tap on Saturday
Ooh,
night. So who doesn't love that? It's also Derby Day, so maybe we'll have some mint juleps too.
that's awesome. That's gonna be
Those,
a great day at the complex there.
yeah, can't wait for that. We will see you all after the Miami game to recap that and look ahead to the Knoxville game. Until then, we will see you soon, and come on, Naples.